Usher Raymond IV rose from humble origins to become king of the R&B mountain. He's also a bit of a power player in the sports world, and he has some surprising connections to a few other superstars. While growing up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Usher joined Happy Clowns, a traveling musical group formed by Daryl Wheeler, founder of Come Clean Entertainment. Under Wheeler's leadership, the group wore clown outfits and promoted a drug-free lifestyle. Eventually, both the name and the clown outfits were ditched as the group evolved into a 5-member boy band that Wheeler dubbed New Beginning. New Beginning landed a record deal and released their first album in 1991, but the deal proved to be short-lived, as they didn't release any more albums after that. Usher left the group when he and his mother Janetta Patton relocated from Chattanooga to Atlanta. At the time, he was crushed. As he admitted to Yahoo in 2023, "I felt like my world was being taken away from me." His mom, however, envisioned much bigger things for her son, as Usher recalled her saying, "No, baby, your world is only beginning because you are a solo artist and there's something incredible in you. And I'm gonna go to Atlanta with you and we are gonna figure this out. We're gonna do it." During a 2023 interview on the British radio show Capital Breakfast with Roman Kemp, Usher revealed the origins of his connection to a fellow major pop star. As it turns out, he met none other than Beyoncé when she was 12 or 11. At the time, she was a member of a girl group called The Dolls. As Usher recalled, "I don't know if I could consider myself their babysitter, but I had a time where I had to watch The Dolls." At one point, Usher and the Dolls were at the home of songwriter and producer Daryl Simmons, who was working with Beyoncé and her bandmates for a recording session. As Usher explained, "I kind of found my way into being their, chaperone, nanny, or something like that, the oldest person in the room." When Usher was 13, he competed on the TV talent show Star Search. He didn't win the contest, but he did make history by sustaining a note for just over 12 seconds, the longest ever by a child competing on the show. While he may have lost the competition, he did win something arguably even better: the attention of an A&R rep working for LaFace Records. That rep then got in touch with Usher's mother and set up a meeting with record exec L.A. Reid. During a 2016 appearance on Steve Harvey's talk show, Reid recalled that Usher's charisma was palpable the moment he arrived and started singing. Reid asked him to wait for a moment so that he could quickly gather together all the women in his office.
And Usher drops down on one knee and starts singing it to the prettiest girl in the room and starts seducing her with his eyes. He's 14.
Reid also revealed, "Usher has no fear, no anxiety, no nervousness, and he goes in and he nails it." That meeting was enough for Reid to immediately sign the budding musician to a deal right then and right there. After L.A. Reid signed Usher, he felt that the youngster could use some toughening up. To achieve that, he sent him to New York City to live with rapper mogul Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy or P. Diddy, or just Diddy. As Usher recalled to Billboard in 2014, "I'd say I earned my stripes in New York City. My time with Puff, it gave me chutzpah." This period proved to be quite the eye-opening experience for the teenage Usher. As he later recalled on The Howard Stern Show, "I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it."
It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried.
Usher also got a front row seat to watch some legendary musicians doing what they do best. As he told Billboard, "I got to see performers like Tupac Shakur, Redman, Method Man, Ice Cube. I got to perform on stage with the Notorious B.I.G., be in sessions with him and Craig Mack. I got to be part of the driving force that was Bad Boy, that was Puff." Between 2001 and 2004, Usher was in a relationship with Rozonda Thomas, better known as Chilli from the R&B girl group TLC. While looking back a couple decades later, Thomas told People magazine, "We definitely had some chemistry, but working chemistry does not mean it works in your personal life. If we were working, it was great, but outside of that, we're so different." Thomas couldn't pinpoint one specific reason that led to their split. As she explained to Us Weekly in 2013, "We broke up because I guess it was that time or whatever, but I'll always love him, forever, because he was my first adult love, a real love." After Usher and Chilli officially broke up, they still continued to see each other on the down low on an off-and-on basis. As she explained to People, "I love hard. I was like, God, why can't I get over this?" He couldn't either. Eventually, it became too much to handle, and in 2019, she finally cut off all contact with him to focus on herself. Usher's time with Chilli wasn't his only tumultuous romance. He's been married a couple of times, but neither union lasted forever. His first time was with stylist Tamika Foster, which only lasted from 2007 to 2009. Then in 2015, he married his manager, Grace Miguel, but then they split in 2018. During an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Usher claimed that one factor in his first divorce was that Foster found it difficult being married to an R&B sex symbol and all that entailed. He also admitted that there were problems with communication that marriage counseling couldn't solve, and his tendency to immerse himself in his career also caused issues. As he explained, "It's hard being married and work the way that I work. I didn't know how to balance it. It was obviously too much for me." When Winfrey asked Usher point blank if he'd been faithful, he responded,
"I found myself lost, and I just wanted out."
Usher ultimately admitted to sleeping with one of his wife's bridesmaids. Foster responded to that revelation on Entertainment Tonight by admitting, "It was a very disappointing revelation. I had suspected it for some time." Nearly 3 decades after L.A. Reid signed Usher when he was 14 years old, the two of them brought their professional relationship full circle. After not working together since 2004, they wound up having dinner at an industry event in 2022. While catching up, they quickly realized that they were still on the same page musically, so they decided to start a record label together. For Usher, this moment simultaneously represented going back to his roots and blazing a path towards a bold new future. As the singer explained to GQ, "His system is what created that expectation for me as a young artist. So now, damn near 25 or some odd years later, we feel inspired to go out and create more artists." In March 2023, Variety reported that Reid was linked with Gamma, a new multi-platform venture launched by former Apple Music creative director Larry Jackson. They were reportedly spearheading efforts to purchase the rights for the final album in Usher's contract with his current label RCA, and he would be producing his first effort for their new label. Back in 2005, the NBA approved Quicken Loans founder Dan Gilbert's purchase of the Cleveland Cavaliers for a reported $375 million. Among the ownership group assembled by Gilbert was Usher, who reportedly invested $9 million for an estimated 1% stake in the team. At the time, Usher promised fans that he would attend as many home games as possible. As he announced at a press conference, "I look for Cleveland to be my home away from home." From a business perspective, the timing was brilliant, as the Cavs' valuation was at a low point. But superstar LeBron James had recently joined the team, and he eventually led them to a championship title in 2016 for the first and thus far only time in the team's history.
So I felt like the luckiest man in the world to be a part of this incredible organization.
Usher was in attendance at Cleveland's Oracle Arena to watch that historic win. In the wake of the victory, the team's value skyrocketed to $1.1 billion. As of 2023, that value had soared even higher to $3.35 billion. There's no question that Usher is one of the most successful musicians of the last few decades, but he hasn't limited himself to crafting bedroom jams, as he's also established a bit of an acting career on the side. He made his on-screen acting debut way back in 1997 on an episode of the sitcom Moesha. The following year, he guest starred on another sitcom, The Parenthood, and he had a recurring role on the daytime soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. As for movies, he made his big screen debut in the 1998 horror flick The Faculty. Since then, Usher has regularly fit acting roles into his busy schedule, in films as varied as She's All That, Killers, and Hustlers. He's also appeared on TV shows ranging from The Twilight Zone to Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and he even played soul legend Marvin Gaye on an episode of the NBC series American Dreams. And he's even ventured into live theater, making his Broadway debut in 2006 as Billy Flynn in the long-running musical Chicago. As Usher admitted during a 2007 interview with Hip Hop DX, "Acting is definitely a very relevant part of my future. When I look at what Gene Kelly, Sammy Davis Jr., and Fred Astaire did with their careers, acting, singing, and dancing, that's what I've always wanted to be. I want to be a triple threat." In May 2023, Usher threw fellow R&B star Chris Brown a surprise birthday party at a Las Vegas roller skating rink. But things took an unfortunately ugly turn when the two of them got into a heated discussion that became physical. As reported by Hollywood Unlocked, Brown had been drinking when he reportedly acted disrespectfully toward Tiana Taylor. Usher attempted to intervene, which led to a tense argument. Brown headed out to his tour bus that was parked outside, and Usher reportedly followed him. This led to an altercation with someone punching Usher in the face and bloodying his nose. TMZ reported that Brown was confronting Taylor because he believed that she was responsible for the American Music Awards nixing his planned tribute to Michael Jackson several months earlier. Shortly after the altercation, Brown and Usher performed separately at a Las Vegas music festival. While both of them appeared to be uninjured, TMZ obtained video of Brown backstage being restrained by numerous security guards. Usher has made a lot of money over the years, and he's also given a lot of that money back to charitable endeavors. His biggest charitable effort is his New Look Foundation. Launched in 1999 by the singer and his mother, Janetta Patton, the nonprofit's goal is to tear down systemic obstacles that stop teenagers from getting a high school education.
You just have to give them the tools, you have to give them the support, and the confidence really comes from them.
Originally focusing on teens in Atlanta, UNL has since evolved to reach people in need throughout the world. According to the foundation's website, more than 50,000 young people have benefited from its services in such far-flung locales as the Dominican Republic, the Philippines, and South Africa. As Usher told Variety in 2016, UNL had outgrown its origins as a small private charity offering Atlanta teenagers with an alternative to the distressingly common path of the classroom to the courtroom to prison. As he explained, it has matured to be far more than that, to having a curriculum that's in schools, teaching kids alternative ideas about cooperation, about music, about the importance of understanding codes, how to handle yourselves, how to take internships, and how to move from that to a well-paying job.